to Smooth 98.1 for a definitive weekly analysis and check on your income. Want cash flow that pays very little taxes. Stay on top of money matters with the experts and make mastery of financial management on the global scale. What a way to run your life. Personal Finance on Smooth 98.1 every Wednesday from 5:15 p.m. It's all about your finances made easy. Providence Bank. Future forward banking. Know you're listening in on this frequency. It's not a question of clear signal. It's not a question of quality sounds. And it's never a question of an engaging, intelligent discourse. In fact, it's never been a question about who stands out unique in the street.
What? Are you good? I hope you're not going.
And it can never be a question about who we are. We are Smooth 98.1.
Smooth 98.1. My name is Olakunmi, and this is Lagos Talks 981. It is good to have you. Thank you so much for joining us in this hour. I mentioned that we're going to have Lagos Talks special today, where we're going to be talking extensively on the Omicron variant of COVID-19. All you need to know. For those of you who want to, know who our guest is, you can also see our flyers everywhere on our social media platforms. His name is Oyewale Tomori. He's a professor, a virologist, and member of the Global Virome Project Leadership Board. Professor Tomori is the immediate past president of the Nigerian Academy of Science with experience in virology, disease prevention and control. He was at the University of Ibadan from 1971 to 1994. He later served as a pioneer vice chancellor of the Redeemers University, Nigeria from 2004 to 2011. From 1994 to 2004, he was a virologist for the World Health Organization's African region, establishing the African Regional Polio Laboratory Network. Professor Oyewale Tomori, thank you so much for joining us. Good morning, sir.
It's my pleasure. Thank you very much.
It's good to have you, and we look forward to the conversation that's starting in just a minute. To join the conversation, we are streaming live on YouTube, so you can see Prof's face every once in a while when he decides to show us, Anyway, but you can join us on WhatsApp. It is 0809-444-0981. That's where to send your messages in on WhatsApp. And yes, I can take calls on this segment. It is 0144-899-81, 0144-899-81. You can call in to ask your questions or share your opinion on the conversation that we are having this morning. Again, this particular conversation is dear to my heart because I'm an alumni of Redeemers University, so it feels good to be speaking with someone who was my vice chancellor when I was in school. Amazing stuff. You're welcome again, sir. So let's just get into it.
Thank you very much.
All right. So researchers have said that the Omicron variant has extremely high number of mutations. I mean, that's about 30 from research. It says about 30 to 50 mutations, I believe, if I'm correct. It seemed to have spread to over 50 countries already. Is this particular variant more transmissible than other variants, sir?
Yeah, I think it is. Thank you very much again. I think it is important to stress that the various mutations which you're finding, some had occurred before. There are some new ones.
Okay.
This was what kind of frightened people about the Omicron. It's spreading all over the world. It is more transmissible. However, we don't see too much of severe infection from it. While it spreads fast, it doesn't seem to be causing too much severe disease. I think that's the only saving grace we have with this particular variant.
Oh, okay. So Dr. Angelique Kwesi, she's one of the doctors that first realized this variant in South Africa. And yes, she mentioned what you just said about them just seeing mild, what's it called, effect of this variant. So should we be worried at all? I mean, should we be scared that this is going to take lives? Because it looks like, or are there severe cases yet?
Yeah, I think we should be worried. Anything that is transmissible. Because we're dealing with people with different levels of immunity, different conditions of health. The fact that this is transmissible, the fact that it causes mild infection with some people does not mean it will cause mild infection with another person, because we are different. Some have good immunity, some don't have, some have comorbidity, some other infections. So we don't know what this virus will do in such people. Therefore, the earlier we stop this transmission, the better for everybody, because you can't predict what is going to happen in another person.
Okay, interesting. The vaccine producers and the World Health Organization have said that a booster is required to manage the effect of Omicron. So I feel like, yes, maybe, that means that we really should be worried. How does this particular variant affect the immune system, sir? As opposed to the other variants?
Now, what they have found in some studies now is that the old vaccines still protect, but not as much as it protects against, the original virus that caused it. But most of these experiments, many of them have not actually been done in life, only very few. These are laboratory experiments, which shows that this new variant seem to be able to evade the protection that we have from the other vaccine. So information is still being gathered about it. So we can't really say with confidence until we have more information. All we can say is that it is better to be on this safe side and not get infected.
Okay. Do you think that the more we're hoping we don't have more variants come up, right? But do you think that the more variants we get, the more need we'll have to get boosters?
Yeah. First of all, let me put it this way: we are the ones that cause the variant to occur.
Okay. Please explain this to us.
Let me give you a good example. We talk of mobile phone. Your phone is not mobile until you carry it around. And if you put if you put it on your table, that's where it stays. It's immobile. So also this virus is not mobile. We are the ones that carry it around. And if I have the virus, for example, and I protect myself and protect other people, then that's the end of the virus within me. But when I don't wear my mask, when I don't wash my hand, when I go to all those places where there's celebration and people are all million over the place without protection, then of course I have been transmitting the virus. And during the process of transmitting the virus then becomes what it's becoming, changing, mutating, getting these variants. But we never know what variant is going to come out. Sometimes the variant will just even kill the virus itself. But at other times, like it's done with the Omicron, like it's done with Delta, it could be something else. We don't know what the next one is coming. So long as we allow the virus to move and be transmitted across. I have one question, which I think people should begin to look at. How many variants have come out of countries where they strictly abide by non-pharmaceutical interventions? How many variants have you found from China, even though they were the first case? How many variants have you found from New Zealand? How many variants have you found from Taiwan? How many variants have you found from Australia? Those are people who believe in, wearing their mask. It is us here in Brazil, in Africa, where we disregarded this, that we're getting the variants coming out. And the variants are causing a problem for everybody. So it's obvious that if you and I keep those rules, no pharmaceutical, we can stop the variants in their track.
Okay. Okay. We have more conversation to come, Lagos, and anyone listening to us around the world. You can join the conversation on 009 444 0981. You can also call in 0144 89981. We're streaming live on YouTube, and I'm speaking with virologist, Nigerian virologist Oyewale Tomori. We're talking about the Omicron variant. After this, I will be asking more questions on the variant, its symptoms, and some of the things that Nigeria should begin to focus on. This is Smooth 98.1 FM. Please stay with us.
Your number one contemporary radio station.
We're just on a break, sir. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
So that's your VC.
Yes, I know,
So
right?
proud.
Forward banking means to you. Speed, innovation, convenience, lifestyle goals, or just simply getting service that is designed just for you. Yeah, we thought you might like all of that and more. That is why we specially created Providus Bank for you to take care of your daily experiences. At Providus Bank, we believe that banking should be all about you and your business and how to get you to the next level. If you do not already have a Providus Bank account, please speak with our business concierge on 0700 77 684 387 or email businessconcierge@providusbank.com.
We're going back in 13 minutes, sir.
Experience.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, 13 seconds, I mean.
No problem.
Banking.
Hey, this is Frank McComb. And you're listening to Nigeria's #1 station for soul.
Yes, this is your #1 station for music, amazing music and intelligent conversation. It is Smooth 981. My name is Olakunmi, and we're in the hour of Lagos Talks 981. We are holding a special conversation with Professor Oyewale Tomori, who's a virologist and member of the Global Virome Project Leadership Board. We're talking about the Omicron variant. To join the conversation, call 0144 89981, 0144 89981, and then you can send us messages on WhatsApp. The number is 0809 444 0981, 0809 444 0981. Okay, so thank you so much again, Professor Oyewale Tomori, for joining us. We will now move on to talk about some of the symptoms. What should we look out for when it comes to Omicron? What are its symptoms?
Well, I think the symptoms are no more different from what you find with other variants that have occurred. The regular, because the respiratory infection to start with. You start with the regular cough, sore throat, and so many other things which are related to the old, the one that we know about COVID itself. So it's not much different. The only thing that we're saying is that it looks as if you have a milder infection than previously known with other COVID-related diseases.
Okay. But recently, Lagos State has announced that if you're attending an event, you must, show proof of vaccination before you're allowed in. Do you think that it's essential that unvaccinated citizens are not allowed to gatherings?
Oh, of course. I mean, the advantage of being vaccinated is that, because like I said, we don't even know. I mean, we are seeing this disease as mild. It could be mild in one person, but we don't know what's going to happen in another person. The safest protection is in the vaccination. So if you have a lot of people who are unvaccinated, the chances of their getting severe disease and severe hospitalization and severe disease and even death is much higher than in those who are vaccinated. So the important thing is protect yourself. And I think that's the message I think we need to keep telling our people. Protect yourself. In that way, won't be a source of transmitting disease from another person to another person.
Okay, we have a caller right here. Hello, good morning. I'm well. What's your name and your location, please? Your name is what? Okay, Femi, please go ahead. Okay. Professor Femi wants to know how long we're going to continue to deal with variants and COVID-19. Do you think that things are going to, slow down a little bit and, human race can get a breather?
Yeah, the good question. And the answer is that we are the one that will determine for how long we'll get the disease circulating amongst ourselves. You remember what I said about other parts of the world, where I said that if we keep the non-pharmaceutical interventions, we can keep this disease at its bay. I mean, I gave the example of your mobile phone or whatever. If we wear a mask and wash our hands and avoid all these large gatherings, we can actually bring this disease to a halt. Countries like New Zealand, countries like Australia, countries like China, they'll be able to bring it under control. So if we obey those rules, we are the one that will determine how long it will last. And so whether we continue to get more variants will depend on you, or depend on me, or depend on everybody keeping this virus at bay.
So in a country like Nigeria, there's a little bit exception, where you find that there are some citizens who have insisted on not taking the vaccine, or there's some who are just not sure yet. What do you think that the government can do differently, or what can be done differently? What do you think?
I think what we need, first of all, we need to keep persuading the people, everybody, that you are responsible for the transmission of this virus. It's not a government disease that is transmitted. It is the individual who has a major role to play in the transmission of the disease. And if you play your role, I play my role, we can all contribute to making sure that we don't spread this disease anymore. I keep giving examples. See what is happening in China. They had the first problem in December 2019. Nobody is hearing about what is happening in China. They vaccinated all their people and they are free of the disease. So we can do the same thing here. Our government must acquire more vaccines and not end up like we're doing now, where we're actually discarding some vaccines. It shouldn't be. In a situation like we are, we should put everything in place to make all the available vaccine, make use of it, number one, and get our people to believe that non-pharmaceutical interventions are the way out. I mean, vaccine alone cannot solve the problem. You have to have different kind of interventions to ensure that we get this disease out of the way. Remember,
what are some of this? Can you elaborate on some of these interventions, sir? Yeah.
No. I mean, basically, there are two major things. One is get yourself vaccinated. Yes. Two is the fact that non-pharmaceutical interventions, because that halts the transmission of the disease. And if the disease is not transmitted to another person, then it will come to an end. That's the situation. So those are the most important things. Wash your hand. Keep away from all these large places where a lot of people gather. When you're in your office, like many of us now, don't stay in an office where you have all the air conditioner rolling for the rest of the whole night with all your doors and windows closed, which is what happens with many of us. Open those windows. Let free air come in. Then you can tell whether infection you're getting. These are all factors, simple things that we can do that cost little or nothing, but yet we prevent the transmission of the disease from one person to another.
Okay, we're still going to talk a little bit more on that. Let's take this call. Hello. Hi, good morning. What's your name and your location? Another Femi, okay. Femi, please proceed. Okay, so if your last question is,
should vaccine
All right, thank you so much, Oluwafemi. Okay, all right. Sorry, Prof. Did you hear him? Did you hear his questions?
You are the only one hearing the question. I don't.
Oh, apologies. So his name is Femi, and he was asking he was asking that without being vaccinated, what's the rate of survival? What's the possibility of survival if you get the the variant? Now he also wants to know if vaccinated people can contract this virus, this particular variant. If also you're vaccinated, can you spread this? I believe yes, but I'm going to have you address it. So can you spread this variant if you're vaccinated? And can you actually contract it if you're vaccinated? Without vaccination, what's the chance of you surviving? And also he got to something that I wanted to touch on rights. People will say it's my right to decide whether or not I want something injected in my body. Should it be made mandatory for people to be vaccinated?
Thank you. I mean, there are very important questions you have asked. I think one of the first things we need to let people know is that we are ascribing to vaccination more than it's supposed to do.
Okay.
Vaccination protects you from having an infection becoming severe disease. What do I mean by that? It does not stop you from being exposed. It does not stop you from even getting infected. But it stops your infection from becoming severe disease, getting hospitalized, and dying. That's what vaccine does. So I think it is important for people to realize that the vaccine is not an umbrella against exposure. You are the one that exposes yourself. It's not the fact that you are vaccinated does not mean if you don't wear your mask, you will not be exposed to somebody. If you are staying next to somebody who has the infection, it's a matter of breathe in and breathe out. It breathes the virus into you and you take it in. So, of course, and if it gets into the area where the virus normally resides, which is the nasal area, it will get settled and get infected. But that infection, the difference now is between a vaccinated person and an unvaccinated person. The unvaccinated person, both of them, the virus will multiply at the region. But for the vaccinated person, instead of that infection becoming a major disease or getting hospitalized or getting into the hospital and dying, the one who is vaccinated is protected. That infection stops at the point of entry and it doesn't go. That's for the vaccinated person. So that's the advantage of vaccination. Vaccination does not stop your exposure, does not stop that infection, but stops you from getting severe disease and dying. I mean, I think we need to get this message out to our people. That's the advantage of vaccination. But why get yourself exposed in the first place? Why create danger? Remember, when you are vaccinated, it doesn't mean that all of us react the same way with vaccination. The fact that I'm vaccinated and you are vaccinated does not mean that we respond the same way. I may have some disease condition which will not make the immunity to come up. Remember also, it is not the day you are vaccinated that you get immunity. It takes at least 10 days to 14 days after your last dose. If you are
okay. Hey, Dessa. Hello?
Oh, you've lost me.
Yes, for a second.
Okay, sorry about that. I think it's the internet. Let me, that's why I switched off the video. But let me go back to that again. The point I was saying was that what the outcome of exposure varies whether you are vaccinated or you are not vaccinated.
Yes.
The unvaccinated person his disease infection may progress to severe disease, hospitalization, and death. While the one who is vaccinated will be protected from a very severe disease and he will survive. However, also to say that it is not the day you are vaccinated that you already have immunity. It takes about 10 days to 14 days. So if between the time you are vaccinated, you get exposed, you can still get the disease. So all the story people are saying, oh, I was vaccinated and I still came down with disease. Yes, because at the time you got infected, your body's immunity level has not reached the level to protect you. So I think people should understand some of these things about the infection and something of that nature. And finally,
can we respond to that immediately after this? We actually need to go for a second. All right. Okay. So we're going to respond to Femi's question on rights as soon as we're back from this. This is Smooth 98.1 and this is Lagos Talk Special. We're talking Omicron variant. My name is Olakunmi. Stick around.
Or stay tuned to Smooth 98.1. Love music, love life.
Thank you so much, sir. Well done.
My pleasure.
What does future forward banking mean to you? Speed, innovation, convenience, lifestyle goals, or just simply getting service that is designed just for you? Yeah, we thought you might like all of that and more. That is why we specially created Providus Bank for you to take care of your daily experiences. At Providus Bank, we believe that banking should be all about you and your business and how to get you to the next level. If you do not already have a Providus Bank account, please speak with our business concierge on 0700 77 684 387 or email businessconcierge@providusbank.com to switch to a future forward banking experience. Providus Bank. Future forward banking.
Wanna play a game? Yes. When it's game time, it's fun time. And when it's fun time, it's kids time. Because kids think the darnest things.
Because it's not magic.
Like inventing the future time machine or flying to the moon with just a cape on.
So I could discover new lands.
The Swears 98.1 Studios presents Curious Minds as we explore the wonder world of today's kids.
I want to be an astronaut, food designer, fortune teller, and entrepreneur.
Hear what they hear, see what they see, and know what they know.
Something, more jingle.
Curious Minds.
We're going in 9 seconds.
From 8:40 a.m.
Okay.
Hi everyone, this is Ruby again.
Do not touch it. Thank you for sticking around. My name is Olakunmi, and this is Lagos Talks 981. This is the segment where we are talking intensely on Omicron variant. I am joined by Professor Oyewale Tomori, who is a Nigerian virologist, and he's able to, educate us a lot on this particular variant. And before we went on break, we were talking about rights, and just to answer a question from one of our callers about rights. But just before then, you can send a message to 0809 444 0981, 0809 444 0981. The number to call is 0144899881. Prof, let me have you respond to Femi's last question, and then I can take more calls. Please keep calling us.
Yeah, you see, there's always the problem about individual rights and public rights.
Okay.
For example, if you are going to become a danger to somebody else, should you insist on your right while the other person gets infected because of you? We need to have a balance. And when there's an emergency where a disease is a pandemic and spreading,
yes,
anything that you do for your responsibility, you have the rights, no doubt, but you also have responsibility. And it is, for example, if I'm going to be the source of infection that will kill other people, should I insist on my rights? These are issues I think we need to balance. And when it involves the entire population, that is, you're insisting on not getting your vaccination and being a source of infection to other people, should make you think my right over my responsibility.
Right over responsibility. Yeah.
You're right.
Let's take this caller, sir. Hello. Oh, okay. That's okay. That was a failed one. Do call us back. It's 0144. It's 0144899881. Professor, you were saying something, please.
No.
Okay, you were done with that thought. All right. So let's talk about. I'm going to take this message from Jamie. Jamie says, "I've gotten the 2 shots of Moderna a few months ago. As we speak now, I am isolating because I was tested positive last week. The symptoms are mild though. I've been taking vitamin C, zinc, and strictly drinking warm water. I'm better now. I'm waiting for the isolation period of 14 days to elapse. Can I go for a follow-up test before the 14 days elapse, or I must wait?" That's the question from Jamie.
The rule is that once you're exposed or you test positive, there are guidelines and there are rules. You need to spend the period of time, and the reason for that is that the incubation period of that infection, or when you get infected, it varies from anything from 2 to 14 days.
Okay.
Which means up to that 14 days, you can still be a source of infection, or you can still show up whatever it is, and that's why the other time is fixed. for time for the isolation covers the period of what you call the incubation period or the infection, the maximum incubation period. Yeah.
So afterwards, then. All right.
Yeah.
Hello. Hello. Hi. Good morning. What's your name and your location, please? This is what? Who? Okay. Hello, Victor. Please proceed. Mm. So we're sure of that. Yes. Mm. Thank you, Victor. So he wants to know, he says that there's a conspiracy theory about people taking vaccines and the fear that, this thing affects your immune system in a very interesting way, and then it could expose you or expose your immune system to further diseases in the future, blah, blah, blah. I think something in that line, just a concern, so to speak. He wants you to shed more light on that and tell us exactly how the vaccine works.
Okay. Thank you very much. Anytime I hear such comments, my first approach is, who is talking about it? What is the person's qualification?
Okay.
If a carpenter comes to me and says he wants to repair my car, I won't listen to him. So anytime we hear all these rumors, find out a little more about the person who is giving the information. If somebody who sets bones, a chiropractor, says, talking to you about vaccines and things, then you just discard that kind of information. And there are credible sources where you can get information. So look for those ones rather than believe anything that comes out of this. No.
So as a virologist, you're confirming that, you're telling us that it's not something to worry about. That's just a conspiracy theory and it's untrue.
Yes.
And
I'm also saying, I'm also saying that when you ask the question, how does it work? I was coming to that.
Yes.
Any foreign thing that is introduced into your body, the body's defense mechanism will rise up to protect you against that. And there are different kinds of cells within the body. So also the Omicron, whatever, even the vaccine that you get, is regarded by the body as something foreign. And the body then develops, protection against that thing. And remember, what you are getting is not actually the virus. That's in the vaccine is different from the virus. Slight amendments, slight changes, another kind of thing. So that when the real virus comes, the body reacts and says, oh, I've seen this thing before. And then it goes out immediately to protect the body. There are certain things they call cells, defense cells within the body. And once they see this thing a second time, it then immediately goes into action. So it's a normal, it's not different from what has happened. Many people, you have got yellow fever vaccine before. You have got measles vaccine before. You got polio vaccine before. So it's not that different from all the other vaccines people have received. People get 10 years after, you go back for your yellow fever vaccine because the immunity will win. So also, immunity will win with this one. But I think one important thing that we need to know is that we're still very ignorant about this new virus. Although it's been around for the last 2 years, we're learning every day. And I think people must begin to realize that, this is something new. And we go the more we learn, the better we're able to explain. So right now, it is that we have what I call an elusive, evasive, and invasive virus, which I used to call smart virus. And we just need to keep learning as it comes along. So some of the theories that a lot of people are saying, they cannot tell you. Anybody telling you that you get the vaccine, you die in 2 years, how does he know? Where did he get the information from?
Okay.
I can be talking about what is going to happen in 2 years because of what you got today, when it's just one day you got it. So those are some of the things that we need to be very careful what we hear from outside.
Okay, thank you so much. So yes, check the veracity of the information that you're going. Our listener sends a message daily. He says, "Is respect to you, Professor. Your pedigree is well known. He wants to know if he says, shouldn't Nigeria by now have its own pharma medical research centers?" He's saying that we have graduates who are microbiologists, biochemists, but a lot of them are working at call centers and as call center operators. Isn't there a way to ensure that we have concrete steps in place to build pharma medical research centers to employ our research graduates? What do you have to say about this, sir?
Thank you very much, Julie. The pain I have for this country is that we have the talent, but we have not created the environment for the talents to function. And that is the problem of the country. Nigeria was producing vaccine before. Those who know Yaba very well, there's a Yaba center there. Way back since 1950s, we've been producing vaccine in this country. Something happened. Poor governance, change of government, poor leadership have led us to where we are. But as I'm talking, there's a center involved, the Nigerian Veterinary Research Institute, which has been producing vaccines since 1924, and they're still producing. So the fact that we are where we are today is not the fact that we don't have the talent, it's not that we don't have the know-how. It is because our government will not focus on what needs to be done, to create that environment for the talented Nigerians to function for the sake and for the goodness of their country. That's the problem.
What needs to be done in terms of funding?
Yeah, funding, creating what you call an enabling environment. Let me give you when I'm talking about enabling environment. If you don't have constant electricity supply, you can't do research. If you don't have good water supply, you can't do your research. If you import every material you need, and then you have the customs putting all the cost of that, illegal and legal charges on it, you are not going to make any progress. And when your government does not, what I call consistent, sustainable support for science, not one government comes today and allocates 20 million for research, and then you don't hear anything again for the next 10 years, and then now allocates 20 million. The US is reaping from consistent for consistent support to research. Go and find out how much US are spent on the vaccine, billions of dollars. But then they are reaping the benefits now because we're all buying from them. Our government must realize that investment in science and research would bring in yielding returns for the good of the country, economically and health-wise. But if we refuse to do that and spend our money on irrelevancies and buying cars for legislators and all those kind of things, then we'll be where we are, a beggar nation for the rest of our life.
Thank you very much, Professor Oyewale Tomori, Nigerian virologist and member of the Global Viral Project Leadership, Lagos and the rest of the world. We have come to the end of Lagos Talks 981. I am so sorry to callers who have called over and over. We're actually going to keep this conversation going. That's what we're going to do. We're going to ensure that, we always have Lagos Talks every weekday. So we're going to ensure that as updates come from Omicron variant, we will continue to talk about it and educate our listeners, and of course have your questions come in and try as much as possible to answer those questions. So please forgive us. We have to go into locker room 981. Tega Supreme is here. We're going to be talking in-depthly on sports. But first, thank you so much, Professor Oyewale Tomori, for joining us this morning.
It's my pleasure, Olakunmi. I'm very proud of you. Always proud of the demons and the graduates.
Thank you so much, sir.
We love you all.
Thank you. God bless. All right. So we're going to move straight. When it's 9 a.m., please join us then for Locker Room 981. Tega Supreme, the ultimate sports analyst, is going to be giving us in-depth analysis on all the sporting stories that happened over the weekend. You are not going to miss anything. It's going to look like you didn't miss any match or any play or any race. Right? So stick around. This is Smooth 98.1 FM. My name is Olakunmi.
Anything else I can help you with?
Prof, thank you so much, sir. God bless you. Thank you for joining us. It's such a privilege to have you here.
It's my pleasure too. And keep up the good works. All right. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
You could win a getaway trip for two at a luxury
Uh-oh.
hotel when you spend a minimum
Look like we're lost.
$1,000